Sixth graders. Hey, we're going to start chapter 3 today. And lesson 3.1 is about divisibility. Okay? This concept is whether or not a number can fit into another number. Okay? If the number can fit into the other number, it's called a factor of the number. Factors are like ingredients in numbers. Okay? And the number is called a multiple if it can be divided by something. So, we'll talk about those terms a little bit later, but some of you may remember those terms from before. Factors make other numbers. Multiples are made up by numbers. So, these are the rules for a factor of 2, whether or not 2 can go into a number. Okay? And you started learning about these, the rule for 2, already in 2nd grade. Yeah, when you were counting by, or identifying even numbers. You know that all even numbers are divisible by 2. Okay? All even numbers are divisible by 2. The double stacks. Right? The double stacks are all even. Okay? 2 is divisible by 2. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on. So any number that is even, if it ends in an even number, it's an even number. Any number that ends in a 0, a 2, a 4, a 6, or an 8. Right? Understand the rule for 2? So then, let's go on to 3. The rules for 3 and 9 are very similar. Okay? Here's how it works. When you're starting with a number, if you add the digits together, and the sum is divisible by 3, then the number is divisible by 3. So take the number 189. Look at this number. 189. 1 plus 8 plus 9 is what? Zoe.
18.
I'm pointing right at it. 18, yes. Is 18 divisible by 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then 189 is divisible by 3. How about 343? That has a lot of 3's in it. Is that divisible by 3, Lindsay? It is. When you add the digits, 3 plus 4 is what? 7 plus 3, 10. So the sum of these digits is 10. Is that divisible by 3?
No.
No. So is this number divisible by 3, Nate? No. No. Okay. The same is true for 9. For the number 9. You would do the same thing to check to see if 9 is a factor of a number. Is 189, is that divisible by 9?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because
What's the sum of the digits again, Roy?
sum of the digits.
189.
The sum of the digits of 189. I don't know.
Oh, we read it together, remember? Were you watching? It's 18, isn't it? So is that number divisible by 9? Max?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means that what is divisible by 9? 189. This number is divisible by 9 because the sum of the digits are divisible by 9. Okay? Now, what's the rule for 5? Any number that ends in a 0 or 5. When you counted by 5s, you saw that pattern, didn't you? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Those are all divisible by 5. They're all multiples of 5. And they all end in either a 0 or a 5. Now, the next 3 are a little more complicated. Okay? For 4, if the last two digits in a number are divisible by 4, then the number is divisible by 4. Okay? So here's an example of that. Well, we know the multiples of 4, right? 4, 8, 12,
16,
16,
20,
20, 24, and so on, right? But what if the number ended in these numbers? What if it was 5,316? Is that divisible by 4?
yes.
Yes, it is, because the last two digits are divisible by 4. Okay? Let's check that. How would we check to see if it's divisible by 4? Divided by 4. 4 goes into 5.
4 times.
Remainder 1. Bring down the 3. 4 goes into 13.
3 times.
3 times 4 is
12.
1, 11. 4 goes into 11.
2 times.
2 times 2 times 4 is 8.
3.
Remainder 3. Bring down the
6.
6. 4 goes into 36.
9.
9 times. Okay? So if you know the multiples of 4, you can check to see if any number is divisible by 4. Just by looking at the last two digits. Okay? The same is true for the number 8. We'll get back to the number 6, but if the last three digits are divisible by 8, then the number is divisible by 8. So you can find the last three digits when you're checking to see if it's divisible by 8, and then check those digits, and if those digits are divisible by 8, then the number is divisible by 8. Okay? So, look at this number, 3,664. The last three digits are 664, right? 664.
Yes.
So, we can check this whole number to see if that whole number is divisible by 8 by just checking 664. Is that divisible by 8? Yep. See, we did the math. And it's 83. So, what about this number? Is that divisible by 8?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that divisible by 8?
Yeah.
How do you know? Emily? Right, because the last three digits are divisible by 8. Okay? So that's how that works. Now let's go back to 6. The rule for 6. The rule for 6 says if this number, if the number we're starting with is divisible by both 2 and 3, then the number is divisible by 6. So how would we check to see if it's divisible by 2? Ariana? Right, if the last digit is even. How would we check to see if it's divisible by 3? Jen?
If the sum of the digits can be divided by 3.
Right, yep. So let's take these two examples. 246. Is that divisible by 2? Is that divisible by 2? Yes, it ends in an even number. Is it divisible by 3?
Yes.
How do you know, Tyler?
Because it's a 6 and 3 goes into 6 2 times.
No. What's the rule for 3? What do you have to do to check for 3? Noah?
The sum of those digits is 12, and if you want me to go further, the reason you know that 12 is divisible by 3 is plus 2 is 3.
Okay, yep. So, how do you know it's divisible by 3, Tyler?
Because in this, the sum of
2, yep. 2 plus 4 is,
4 is 6.
plus 6 is
12.
12, and 12 is divisible by 3. So this number is divisible by what numbers? Bryce? 2 and 3 and 6. Yep. 2 and 3 and 6. How about 252? Is that divisible by 2?
Yes.
Alex?
Yes.
Yep. Is it divisible by 3, Abby?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because if you add
So 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 2 is 9, and that's divisible by 3. So what numbers is 252 divisible by? Daria?
2, 3, and 6.
Yeah. 2, 3, and 6. Is it divisible by 4?
No.
How would you check? How do you know if it's divisible by 4? No, you don't. Abby?
If the number is divisible by 4,
If the last
2.
2 digits. Is 52 divisible by 4?
yes.
What is it? What's 52 divided by 4?
13.
13. So is this number divisible by 4?
Yeah.
So what numbers is it divisible by so far? 2, 3, 4, and 6. Is it divisible by 9?
Yeah, no.
Nate?
Yes, because it's divisible by 3. It can be divisible by 9.
Well, it can be, but what is the sum of the digits?
5, 2.
No, what's the sum of the digits?
9.
9. And is 9 divisible by 9? So then is this number divisible by 9? Yeah. So what numbers are this 252 divisible by? Roy?
What is that divisible by?
So far we have what?
2, 3, 4, 6, and 9.
Correct. Not 5, right?
Yeah.
Not 10. Good. Do you understand what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Good, good. So use these rules to do this assignment. Let's start with number 9. On page 88, it says, tell whether the number is divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10. So write down the number 48. Then put a colon. And list the numbers it's divisible by. No, that's not one of the choices. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. It's divisible by 2, it's even. What do we need to check next?
3.
How do you check 3? How do you check 3, Carson? Not odd. Add the what? Add the numbers. 4 plus 8 is that divisible by 3? Yeah, so 3 works. The sum of the digits is 12. Right? Is it divisible by 4?
Yes.
Yeah. 4 times 12, right? Is it divisible by 5?
No.
6.
Yes.
How do you know it's divisible by 6? Tyler? Yep, and it's divisible by 2 and 3. Right? How about 8? What? 48 divided by 8
No.
is 6, isn't it?
Yes.
6 times 8 is 48. How about 9? No, the sum of the digits is 12. 12 is not divisible by 9 evenly. So it's not 9, 10. So then that is your list, right? 10 if it ends in 0. Right? Alright, so use those rules to figure out what numbers can go into the given multiple. Okay?